Good evening, and welcome to your AI Daily Press evening podcast for August 24, 2026. I'm your host, Walter. We have a significant amount of news to cover tonight, ranging from the global financial landscape to escalating tensions between nations. Firstly, the world's economies are at a critical juncture due to the escalating debt crisis. The recent global bond sell-off has sent yields to their highest level in 2 decades, bringing debt to the forefront of investor worries. This situation is complicated by factors such as deficits, higher oil prices, and economic populism from both sides of the political spectrum. In another development, tensions between the United States and Iran have escalated significantly. The U.S. Treasury Secretary has announced plans for an economic D-Day against Iran, marking a major shift in strategy from military pressure to economic warfare. This move aims to cripple Iran's economy and force it to negotiate, but Iran has responded by warning countries against participating in these sanctions, threatening harm to their interests. Lastly, Ukraine is celebrating its 35th anniversary of independence from the Soviet Union amidst a devastating conflict with Russia. President Volodymyr Zelensky has reiterated Ukraine's desire for peace without surrendering to Russian demands. The international community remains divided on how to resolve this conflict, with some countries imposing sanctions on Russia, while others are more cautious. These stories highlight the complex and challenging geopolitical landscape we are currently facing. The decisions made by governments and policymakers will have far-reaching consequences for global financial stability and regional security. We will continue to monitor these situations closely and provide updates as more information becomes available. And remember, the world's economies and geopolitical tensions are at a critical point, and it's essential to stay informed. Now for the latest in social and cultural news, here is Barbara Waters.
Thank you, Walter. Firstly, we've been following the alarming development of autonomous AI-guided drones being used in warfare, particularly in the conflict between Russia and Ukraine. These drones, which can select their own targets without human intervention, have already claimed civilian lives, raising profound concerns about the future of warfare and the potential for unintended harm to innocent people. Secondly, an investigation has revealed that many private schools in Sydney are struggling to achieve gender balance on their governing councils, with some having as few as 1 or 2 female members. Experts argue that this lack of representation can significantly impact school culture and decision-making processes, affecting students and staff alike. Educators and policymakers are urging schools to prioritize diversity and inclusivity in their governance structures. Lastly, the Kremlin has announced measures to minimize the impact of Ukrainian strikes on Russian grain exports, which have significant implications for global food supplies. With tit-for-tat attacks disrupting grain terminals and forcing shippers to delay or cancel loadings, Russia expects to export around 60 million metric tons of grain in the current season. Global wheat importers are bracing for tighter supplies as the situation continues to unfold. These stories highlight complex issues that require careful consideration and nuanced discussion. We invite you to join us in exploring these topics further and examining their implications for our world today. Now for the latest in business and finance, here is Louis Riskweiser.
Thank you, Barbara. Firstly, NVIDIA is set to release its second quarter earnings report soon. The company has a history of beating Wall Street expectations, with 11 consecutive quarters of topping analyst estimates. However, this doesn't necessarily translate to a stock price increase after each earnings beat. For the upcoming report, NVIDIA's guidance projects revenue of $9.1 billion, which would reflect year-over-year growth of roughly 20%. One key factor to watch will be the company's China sales, explicitly excluded from its guidance. If executives provide optimism about AI chip sales in China, it could lead to a stock surge. On the other hand, concerns about hyperscalers' AI infrastructure spending might weigh on the stock. Secondly, gold prices have risen to an 8-week high due to the Treasury Department's decision to increase buybacks of long-dated government debt. This move has sparked a late summer rally in gold prices, attracting fresh technical and momentum-driven demand. The current trend may be influenced by upcoming economic indicators, such as the Personal Consumption Expenditures Price Index for July and a speech by Fed Chair Kevin Warsh at the Jackson Hole Symposium. Lastly, the latest Federal Reserve minutes revealed a possible rate hike, leading to a downturn in market sentiment, with the S&P 500 falling by 0.7%. In response, analysts are highlighting undervalued REITs like Urban Edge, which offers compelling value post-pullback. Investors are advised to maintain a balanced portfolio and stay informed about upcoming events, such as NVIDIA's earnings report and the Jackson Hole commentary, to make informed decisions and position themselves for long-term success. Remember, don't panic. Market fluctuations are normal. We'll continue to monitor these developments and provide in-depth analysis and updates. Now for the latest in science and technology, here is Carl Starman.
Thank you, Lewis. Firstly, we take a look at the upcoming launch of the Roman Space Telescope, which promises to revolutionize our understanding of the universe. With its advanced technology, this telescope is set to capture unprecedented images of the cosmos, potentially resolving long-standing tensions in the standard model of cosmology. We can't wait to see what new discoveries it will bring. Next, we delve into the world of emerging technologies, where governments are investing heavily in quantum computing and artificial intelligence. However, concerns are being raised about market concentration, with some experts warning that a small number of companies could dominate the market, making it difficult for new entrants to compete. We examine the challenges governments face in balancing innovation with fair competition. Lastly, we revisit a pivotal moment in astronomical history, the reclassification of Pluto from a full-fledged planet to a dwarf planet. This significant shift in understanding occurred in 2006, when the International Astronomical Union made the groundbreaking decision. We explore the story behind this change and how it has led to a deeper understanding of the Kuiper Belt and its role in the formation and evolution of our solar system. These stories highlight the dynamic nature of scientific inquiry and the importance of adapting our knowledge as new evidence emerges. Now for the latest in sports, here is Howard Closewell.
Thank you, Carl. But John's greatest impact on baseball extends far beyond his impressive statistics. The surgical procedure that bears his name has revolutionized the sport, allowing countless pitchers to return from injuries that once would have forced them to end their careers. In other news, the Milwaukee Brewers have solidified their position as the top team in Major League Baseball, with a series of impressive wins that put them on track to achieve their first 100-win season and potentially claim their first World Series title. Meanwhile, in the WNBA, Jay Wilson is poised to make history with a potential third consecutive MVP award. However, not all news is positive, as the Cleveland Browns' decision to announce Deshaun Watson as their starting quarterback for the upcoming season has sparked intense debate. Despite facing numerous allegations of sexual misconduct and being suspended for 11 games last year, Watson's experience and ability to function in the offense were cited as key factors in the decision. Many fans and critics are questioning the choice, given Watson's poor performance on the field and the controversy surrounding him off it. In my humble opinion, these stories highlight the drama of athletic competition and the complex issues that surround sports. As we delve into the fascinating story of Tommy John's legacy, the thrilling performances of the Milwaukee Brewers, and the controversies surrounding Deshaun Watson, one thing is certain: this is an exhilarating time for sports enthusiasts. Tell it like it is, folks. The world of sports is full of twists and turns that keep us on the edge of our seats. Ladies and gentlemen, now for the latest in travel and human interest, here is Charles Curl.
Thank you, Howard. Firstly, in Scotland, a merger between EQ Chartered Accountants and Innis Partners has been announced, highlighting the importance of local roots and community collaboration in the face of globalization. This union not only strengthens the Scottish economy, but also celebrates the country's ingenuity and tradition of small-town businesses thriving. Moving to Hungary, we have an update on a dramatic incident involving a Hungarian Air Force pilot who safely ejected from a crashed Gripen jet. The cause of the accident is still under investigation, but fortunately, no injuries or casualties were reported. This story serves as a poignant reminder of the bravery and risks faced by military personnel daily. Lastly, in Zambia, a sense of uncertainty looms as the country's top courts were unexpectedly closed on the final day for opposition leader Brian Mundabile to file an election challenge. The closure has raised concerns about the integrity of the electoral process and the rule of law in Zambia. The international community is closely watching the situation, hoping for a resolution that upholds democratic principles. These stories remind us that even amidst uncertainty and challenges, there are examples of resilience, collaboration, and dedication to democracy and justice. We'll continue to follow these developments and bring you updates as more information becomes available. Now for the latest in fashion and entertainment, here is Joan Streams.
Thank you, Charles. Can we talk about the latest news in entertainment? First off, Olivia Rodrigo is killing it on the charts, tying with Michael Jackson and The Weeknd for the third most appearances among all artists on the Billboard Global 200. Her single Stupid Song is climbing up the radio charts, and let's be real, this girl's got talent. But if you're in the mood for something spooky, the Vietnamese found-footage horror film Lao Chu Hoa, The Deadliest Mansion, is hitting North American theaters on September 1st. Trust me, it's not for the faint of heart. Based on a well-known urban legend, this film will have you on the edge of your seat. On a more somber note, we're saying goodbye to the talented actress Shelley Fabares, who passed away at the age of 78. With a career spanning over 6 decades, she left an indelible mark on our hearts with her iconic roles in The Donna Reed Show Coach and many other films and TV shows. Her kindness, generosity, and dedication to her craft inspired countless fans and fellow actors. Whether you're a music lover, a horror fan, or just someone who appreciates great talent, there's something for everyone in the world of entertainment. So go ahead, grab some popcorn, and let's get cozy with the latest news. Now for the latest in nature and environment, here is David Attenacher.
Thank you, Joan. This week, we've been exploring some remarkable stories from the world of conservation and wildlife. Firstly, we delved into the fascinating tale of Dan Jansen, a biologist who has dedicated his life to preserving Costa Rica's tropical forests. His groundbreaking research and innovative approaches have not only protected these vital ecosystems, but also inspired a new generation of scientists and conservationists. We also shone the spotlight on the incredible story of the dragonflies in Guyana, where local communities are working together to protect these tiny creatures and their habitats. By doing so, they're safeguarding their own future and preserving the planet's precious biodiversity. And finally, we brought you the heartwarming tale of a beaver baby boom in the UK, where a family of wild beavers is thriving in secret. These incredible creatures are not only charming but also play a vital role in shaping their environment, creating thriving ecosystems that support a diverse range of wildlife. Throughout these stories, we've seen the power of individual actions, perseverance, and collaboration in protecting our planet's most precious ecosystems. As we move forward, it's crucial to prioritize careful planning, collaboration, and a deep appreciation for the natural world, ensuring that these incredible animals continue to thrive and inspire future generations. And that completes our evening podcast for today. Thank you for listening. Until tomorrow morning, I'm David Attenacher for AI Daily Press, the world's most unbiased news source.